Hello, I'm Claude White, and yes, delusional Donald Trump, he is still in denial when it comes to the innocence of the so-called Central Park Five, or as I like to call them, the Innocent Five, or the Exonerated Five. Now, about 4 or 5 days ago, Trump was asked by Urban Radio Network's reporter April Ryan whether he'd apologize to the accused men for taking out $80,000 worth of newspaper ads calling for their execution. Remember, all 5 of these young men were exonerated in 2002 after Matias Reyes confessed to raping the so-called Central Park jogger, and that was backed up by DNA evidence. Now, at first, Trump was very defensive, and he responded to the reporter by asking, why would you bring that question up now? It's an interesting time to bring it up. And that's obviously referring to the Netflix miniseries. And in fact, the reporter, April Ryan, responded that there were movies and everything out about them, referring, of course, to the Netflix TV series about the Central Park Five that has, of course, reignited controversy about the case. And Trump responded that you have people on both sides of that. They admitted their guilt. If you look at Linda Fairstein, and if you look at some of the prosecutors, they think that the city should have never settled the case, so we'll leave it at that. No, newsflash, Donnie, those were not real confessions. They were beaten out of those guys. They were manipulated. I mean, those so-called confessions, in my opinion, those so-called detectives, aka race soldiers, should have been fired, and they should not receive any pension whatsoever. Let's put that out there. And let's also remember the climate that you helped create, Donald. You, ex-mayor at that time, Ed Koch, current mayor David Dinkins, and the subway vigilante 3 years earlier, Bernard Goetz. The city was, and very much still is, very racially polarized, and you helped brought about that type of climate, Donald Trump, especially when you pulled out those $80,000 newspaper ads calling for their execution. Now, everybody knows how racist Donald Trump is. I mean, it's been proven, and it's nothing new when it comes to the residents here in this city. We know that Trump and his father kept many of black families away from his housing. That's been proven. You can look it up. It is public record. We also know that his father was a card-carrying member of the Ku Klux Klan. And let's face it, he is the same guy who said that he grabs women by the pee, and also, just recently, he has been indicted on more sexual deviance. So this is the so-called president that represents this here United States of America. And his arrogance refuses to acknowledge that he was wrong about the Exonerated Five. And you know what the worst part about this whole thing is? I am almost guaranteeing that he will get a second term when you look at the people who are running on the Democratic Party against one orange-faced bastard. But thank goodness the Central Park Five were able to find some sense of justice. Of course, they were given about $42 million, and also there was another $13 million added to that later on, but no amount of money can take the place of the time that was lost by being innocent behind a jail cell. Please like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Claude White. Take care, and God bless.